Yo, what is good, y'all? What is good? We got Sonic versus Mario. Who would actually win? For the longest time, Sonic versus Mario has been like the biggest topic when it comes to games, movies, shows, fighting, and so forth. My personal opinion, I kind of actually have Mario physically stronger than Sonic, but everything else, speed, durability, uh, uh, battle IQ. I think Sonic just beats him, bro. I honestly think 70% out of the 30% Sonic just beats him. Because when you have such a big advantage in speed, that goes a long way. And it's not even like Mario's just straight up super stronger than on Sonic. Like if it was like a fighting game, it's like Mario's strength is like a 9, Sonic's strength is like an 8. Sonic's speed is like a 10, while Mario's speed is like a 4 compared to Sonic. So it's like when you have such a big gap in something that's very important, I think I know which one I've chosen.
Sonic vs. Mario is one of the deepest beefs in fiction. Oh wait, didn't I do this before? Well, this time it's a little bit special, as we're going to be covering video game Sonic and video game Mario. This is a matchup that's been done tons of times all throughout the internet, but I think I want to give my unique spin on the topic, as I think that the scaling for both of these characters has been improved throughout time, as I truly believe that the metas for both of these characters.
I do think the interesting part about everything is every single time they talk about Mario and Sonic debates, people tend to always talk about the Mario parties, the side Mario games, and I'm like, why don't we ever talk about the Mario Sonic side games? At least that to my knowledge, every Sonic side game for the most part is canon. And if we're gonna count Mario Party, why can't we count Sonic Shuffle? Just keeping it a buck.
Are probably the best they've ever been. Like back in the day, people were arguing if Sonic was faster than the speed of light. So I wanted to give my spin on the topic that initially started my channel, as we celebrate 100,000 subscribers, as well as come together to celebrate the end of the year. So yeah, Sonic versus Mario. Enough said, to be honest. But first, I just want to give a couple of shout outs, as we're gonna have an animated fight that comes after the analysis of both characters, very akin to Death Battle. So before anything, I just want to give my flowers to Titan Mythical Series, as he actually volunteered to animate this project with me. He's animated previous fights here on the channel, and his channel is really great. He's got a bunch of OC series going on, and he's got tons of kaiju battle animations on his channel. So genuinely, I think that you guys will like his content, especially after this. I also just want to thank each and every one of you guys for the support that you've shown me these past 2 years. We've got over 100,000 subscribers, and genuinely, I never thought that I would make it this far. So really, thank you guys. And if you're new here, then hey, be sure to subscribe. We have tons of goals left to hit. And speaking of goals, yesterday's video, I asked you guys to hit 500 likes within the first day, and you guys got almost double that. So for today's like goal, I'm gonna ask you guys for 750 likes within a day. Genuinely, I think that we can do it. But with that being said, Mario versus Sonic, let's see who wins. Mario is one of the most underrated characters in fiction in terms of power, and seeing as how I'm putting up against Sonic the Hedgehog, I think I'm going to start this part of the video swinging in terms of just getting.
I'm gonna be honest, I do think people lowball Mario though. A lot of people put Mario in like a weird area for fighting where it's like they just think he's straight up weak, and I think Mario's definitely one of the strongest. And it's weird because like there's a lot of Nintendo characters that straight up crazy powerful, like Rosalina, Bayonetta and Kirby. But like Mario should, I'm not saying Mario's up there with them, but he's definitely like only like a little tier below.
As even as early as during the events of Mario 64, he scales the characters who are amped by power stars, with these cosmic sources of energy being powerful enough to create many pocket dimensions as seen in the game. You might think that these constructs or environments aren't actually that big, but seeing as how several of them have a sun, or even vast starry night skies, this in itself would easily warrant multi-sources and levels of power. But seeing as how one of these levels even is stated to contain a bottomless abyss, and you could argue that these power stars are arguably solar systems, even universal sources of power, and Mario can defeat many bosses that are powered by these same stars all throughout the series. Easily granting the most iconic plumber in gaming history, universal scaling as early as during the 1990s. As you can imagine, these metas would only become more consistent over time, as in subsequent entries, we'd have Mario directly defeating Bowser, with this character being a threat to the worlds of the Mushroom Kingdom, and is stated even as early as the 80s. But for more concrete stuff, during Mario Galaxy, he defeats Bowser, a tale as old as time, but later on, Bowser goes on to survive the collapse of his Galaxy reactor, with this phenomenon or event causing the universe as we know it to collapse or reset, and Bowser endures this explosion point blank, and he's shown to survive the blast pretty much unscathed. This is pretty blatantly universal, but even if you don't like the many implications
Galaxy is such a funny game, bro. Oh my goodness.
In the game that Bowser is going to use it to create an entire galaxy. For some far higher ends now, we're going to have to jump to Paper Mario, as well as some of the other RPG-based games. And yes, this is the same Mario, or meant to be the same Mario. Like, we have the Super Mario Encyclopedia that states this to be the case pretty explicitly.
Wait, really? I didn't even know that. Shoot. Wait. Paper Mario is low-key just Mario? wait, because Paper Mario is kind of broken it up. Wait a minute. Wait. I didn't know that.
Paper Mario skills of Mario because he's Mario. But anyways, in the first Paper Mario entry, Mario is able to...
I kind of just seen them as two different. I never...
Rod. This is important because Bowser with the Star Rod was able to defeat the Star Spirits, who are the guardians of the Dream Depot, which is a realm in the Mario universe which creates universes out of dreams, with the game having many implications that the Dream Depot has spawned infinite sets of universes. And Bowser with the Star Rod...
Wait, basically the Dream universe, every time something dreams in colors is confirmed. Wait. I'm reading this, bro. It hands infinite universes. Wait a minute. Wait. I know we're just going over Mario right now.
Arguably scales to characters who can significantly affect multiversal plus structures. But for higher ends, we're going to have to examine the true scope of the Mario universe. And for that, I'm going to play a short
I'm not a robot him. What the heck?
Goku vs. Smash Bros. Video. It's a really good video, and I think you guys should check it out after you watch this, of course. But overall, I think this portion of the video in question does a pretty good job of what I'm going to try to convey. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. But for starters, Mario's cosmology is likely a fifth-dimensional construct, as the Mystery Circle Galaxy in Mario Galaxy is referenced to be a super space, which is a concept of space-time that is defined by having more than 4 coordinates, i.e. being fifth-dimensional. This might actually be consistent, as in the level itself we can see things phase in and out of reality, just like how a fourth-dimensional object would react in our dimension and stuff like that. For more details, I recommend you guys read this blog in the comment section. So yeah, Mario's universe being 5D is a really big game changer, as in the same game, he was able to fight on par with Bowser, who tanked the Galaxy reactor, blowing up on him point blank. This weapon being
Has he had a feat better than Galaxy?
The entire universe.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm still playing Odyssey right now. So really can't really spoil myself for but has he done anything crazy where he's fighting Bowser, he's going through different planets, galaxies and stuff with Mario Galaxy, or this is his biggest feat? Because I'm actually not thinking about we do keep talking about Mario Galaxy. I'm wait, he did have a lot more games since Galaxy with Odyssey, Super Mario World, and so forth.
And then Mario Galaxy now. In the sequel, he was able to defeat a stronger Bowser. Thank you, Past Me, for explaining, but essentially, if you didn't catch that, the Mario universe is essentially a fifth-dimensional construct. So with this context in mind, Mario has tons of instances in which he scales the characters that scale to his base universe, such as during the events of Mario RPG, where he scales the Cullix, a character who's stated to have the power to rule over all of the cosmology. He's referenced to be a master of time and space, and he literally eats time. And in the Mario and Luigi series, they find themselves scaling the characters who literally essentially absorb the waves of the universe itself to amp their attacks and such, meaning that Mario would essentially be low complex multiversal and skill threats that find themselves to be fifth dimensional in nature. Moving on to Mario's speed, and obviously at worst he would be a massively faster than light character, as he scales to Bowser, an individual who could tag Mario's starship, which was able to traverse the universe. But at best, due to his dimensional scaling, he would more than likely possess.
I think with his power-ups, he definitely gets way faster.
He skills the characters who transcend time, arguably being able to see the past and present at the same time. So
Mario's definitely not slow, but like again, compared to Sonic, come on now.
Don't count Sonic out quite yet, as we still have to dive into his stats.
Okay, let's talk. I'm not gonna lie. With the whole Paper Mario thing and everything like that. Kind of spooky. That's kind of spooky. Let's hear what Sonic got. Let's hear the Sonic analyze.
In terms of his power level, and seeing as how we gave Mario his multiversal ends, let's just return the favor and talk about Sonic the Hedgehog and where he scales. At a low end, Sonic consistently, as early as during the 90s continuity, is able to fight characters and more specifically robots that are powered by several or even a singular Chaos Emerald. This is important.
Talk about it.
Chaos Emerald during the events of
those
Sonic
Chaos Emeralds are crazy.
Was able to shift multiple continents on the Sonic Earth. Assuming that the planet is just Earth-sized, and this would be a large planetary feat. But the Chaos Emerald scaling chain gets a lot more impressive, as these things contain entire universes inside of them, and they're conduits of infinite power. And classic Sonic, even in spin-off games such as Sonic the Fighters, can just beat up characters that are amped by such forces. For some consistency in this range of power, Sonic during the period of Sonic Generations is able to defeat Perfect Chaos, a character that required a Super Sonic from the Dreamcast era in order to defeat, a character who's powered by 7 of these Chaos Emeralds, and base Sonic just got so much more powerful that he outperformed a previous version of himself that was amped by infinite power 7 times over. For Sonic's best scaling, we're gonna have to talk about Infinite, a character who's referred to by Eggman as his greatest creation, as well as...
I'm glad people keep on bringing up Forces. I feel like Sonic has some feats from Frontier that people do not talk about. Like, those times were still powered by the Chaos Emeralds. So, like, Sonic technically, like, beating those Titans are, like, kind of crazy still.
The most powerful Sonic villain.
But I guess Infinite is still, like, his most powerful villain, kind of, I guess, stated-wise.
That he would make up for all of his previous defeats 1,000-fold. Keep in mind, Eggman's a character who was able to harness the power of the Time Eater to literally eat time at his will. Like, the Time Eater was eating multiple timelines all at once, so that's arguably a low multiversal character right there. And Eggman has shown the capacity to transcend fourth dimensional spaces just with his technology, as when he utilized multiple sets of Chaos Emeralds, the power of his mech was stated verbatim to
Sonic
transcend
Rush.
dimensions,
Go to game.
with
Love
this
it.
game very prominently featuring a fourth dimensional space known as Mirror World, with this space also being infinite in size. So base Sonic arguably upscales characters who upscale other sets of characters that can significantly affect multiple timelines and universes and even fifth dimensional spaces. It's also stated in this game that Sonic gets stronger every second, and he's stronger than he's ever been. So let's dive into how powerful this would make Sonic. More than likely, we're gonna have to switch our attention to one of the most powerful Sonic antagonists in the entire franchise. Solaris is a very powerful Sonic character. As he's the final boss of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. And he's a character who's so powerful that he threatened the entire multiverse or cosmology of Sonic the Hedgehog. Keep in mind, we have infinite 4D spaces that make up this cosmology. And Dr. Robotnik even refers to the creature as super dimensional.
I would love to see a Solaris fight in this day and age with like Sonic team.
Is really impressive. As once again,
I don't know how they would do it, but I would love to see it.
Technology that can transcend infinite fourth dimensional spaces. And Solaris is literally called super dimensional in comparison to anything Robotnik should be capable of creating at the time. And Super Sonic scales to Solaris, and he scales to arguably even more powerful threats. We already talked about how he scales to Infinite and Base, but if you don't like Infinite being above Solaris like some people do, we know for a fact that the End should be stronger than Solaris, as the End is a character who was able to look in Sonic's mind and gather all of his past experiences and say that all of his past ops were infinitely weaker than him. And he's a character who Super Sonic eventually was able to defeat. Moving on to Sonic.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
This is pretty self-explanatory, but Sonic is faster than the speed of light at a low end. He states this to be the case multiple times throughout the series. During the mid-2000s alone, he was able to defeat and he's able to attack characters that are omnipresent. Just by running in generations and just beating the levels, he was able to set the timeline correct. And in that same game, he's able to fight with the Time Eater, who's literally flying through time throughout their boss fight. So Sonic the Hedgehog is consistently a character that possesses speed that is beyond measure, as time is simply not a factor that the Blue Blur has to confront himself to. So with the scaling of both characters set in stone, let's actually start this fight. So between the both of them, let's see who would actually come out on top in this simulated fight.
Well, they did do like an animation. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I know people keep asking for it, but I low-key will love it too. They need to make a death battle for this. The first death battle was Sonic versus Mario. Sonic won. The second one, it wasn't even good. I liked the anime. I didn't really like the animation for it. I think they need to make it a sprite animation. Like they need to they need to go so beyond for a third time, especially with how they did Superman versus Goku, bro. They need to make this like the most goated thing ever, and I think one more death battle between them would be so peak, bro. It would be so peak.
Fight.
Let's go. That's it.
Okay, clean.
Now I'll show you. Go.
It's actually a pretty good writing and animation. I like this.
That's it. You're too slow.
The more I think about it, we low-key haven't even went over the power-ups for neither of
Now
them.
I'll show you.
I actually kind of like that.
Before anything, I want to give my flowers to Titan Mythical series. His expertise is kaiju, so animating these more humanoid / anthropomorphic characters was really new ground for him. So just give your flowers to him. Titan Mythical series.
Fire.
Down below.
I like that. I like that.
Shout out. Thank you, man. But with that being said, let's actually explore the matchup. And well, as you saw, I think Sonic would win. And it's pretty much as simple as this. Sonic's scaling is just a lot more consistent than Mario's scaling. Both of these characters have universal, multiversal, and higher dimensional scaling, but there's the fact that Sonic's metas are just a lot more concrete. He scales to all of this cosmic level stuff very easily, I'd say. And not only does he scale to this stuff, he upscales it. As you notice in the fight, none of them had to go outside of their base forms, as I don't think that Sonic would need Super Sonic to beat Mario. And I don't think Mario would even get the chance to get any of his higher forms, as base Sonic is more than enough. As Mario's best stuff...
That's the interesting thing. Do y'all think Sonic would literally just beat Mario and not toy around and just... Because Sonic's a cocky dude. So he'll probably toy around with Mario and just wait until Mario actually get the advantage and then go super. But if Sonic really is taking the fight seriously... he's not losing. like I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just see it. I'm just like I'm saying to myself, Sonic is so fast that Mario's really not even gonna be able to catch him, bro. It's just one of those things where you have the big advantages in one specific area where it's like he just can't even catch him. Even if he blocks an attack and tries to grab him, you really think he's gonna be able to grab Sonic? Like, come on, bro.
That's like really consistent and concrete, really capped at 5D. And even then, you kind of got to squint at it. Whereas with Sonic, we have verbatim fourth dimensional spaces that are infinite. We have characters that upscale that by another dimension. And then we have super dimensional creatures on top of that. And then we have even bigger, powerful ops that are just like, those guys are far compared to me. And Sonic just beats those guys up on a random Tuesday. So yeah, between Sonic and Mario, I've got the fastest thing alive. But with that being said, for the last time this year, I'll see you guys next time with a new video. But until then, stay Big G fans.
Go to video. Like I said, I think people do lowball Mario. Mario's a really, really strong character, and I definitely think he wins in a lot of areas when it comes to beating other characters. Just not Sonic. Just not Sonic. I'm just gonna keep it a buck, bro. I think they're so close in feats that ultimately you gotta give one another like which ones can they win 1v1. Mario, to me, Mario's a little bit stronger physically, but again, I think he has such a big gap in speed and even like battle IQ and I think I even Daniel said durability, where it's like, yeah, I don't see Sonic losing. I really don't. But comment down below who y'all actually got winning. Do y'all think Sonic will beat Mario? Do y'all think Mario would beat Sonic? And without further ado, we out of here. Peace.